Okay, let's try this one more time. Hello, YouTubers. This is the Orchid Prince here. Note to self, when using a cell phone to make your videos, because my video recorder went kaput on me, put it on airplane mode so people don't keep calling you in the middle of your post. But anyway, let's go ahead and get started for the third time. Sorry, I've been outside. You can see all the dirt in my nails. But anyway, so for the past few weeks, it has been very exciting around my household. We have been celebrating my birthday, which was actually just yesterday, the 29th. So, in the past few weeks, we actually ended up going to some exciting places. We went to 2 different orchid shows. The first one was at Fairchild Botanical Gardens, which is an amazing place. If you have not been there yet, I do recommend to go. Main reason is it's just beautiful. They have so many different exotic plants. They've got an orchid trail where you walk through and there's waterfalls and everything, with the orchids mounted on the trees. It's just a really cool experience. Also, they've got, one of my favorite areas, other than the orchid trail, of course, is the butterfly garden, which actually empties out into a rainforest kind of garden where they've got, cocoa plants, and they've got the vanilla orchid in there. Last time I was there, the vanilla orchid was actually in bloom. Well, the bloom looked a little wilted because they only last for about a day, and they open up bright and early in the morning, and we were there in the afternoon. But it was still cool to see because I have a humongous vanilla orchid that was given to me, and it has not yet bloomed yet, but hopefully it will soon. So, first off, we actually, we took a membership at the Fairchild Botanical Gardens because it is so beautiful, but also because they have a lot of events there. We've been to the Mango Festival, the Chocolate Festival. We've been to 2 orchid festivals there. But the Chocolate Festival, it's kind of cool. They always incorporate some kind of plant into all of their festivals. So, during the Chocolate Festival, of course, they sold Oncidium Twinkles and Oncidium Cherry Babies. So the first fragrant orchid I have ever purchased was actually an Oncidium Cherry Baby, and that was just a few years ago. And there she is in all her glory right here. I don't know if you can even see her, but she has a brand new growth coming up. It's looking beautiful. The orchid was in very good condition. I did repot her into a bigger pot just so that the pseudobulbs can actually stretch out, grow, and grow, and grow as much as they want. After that, I ended up getting another Oncidium Cherry Baby, and then another one was given to me by one of you fellow YouTubers. Ashley Warrant actually sent me one. It's Oncidium Heaven Sent Sweet Baby. So apparently, I thought it was going to be a cherry baby, and apparently it smells like a cherry baby, so that's a good thing, but the flowers are completely different. Now, this one is a lot bigger, and I've already counted 5 new growths on it, and I'm very excited about that. So, let's get started with the orchid haul that I actually got for my birthday. So, the first ones that we will be going over, and pardon this, I was outside gardening, as I said, and I got bitten up by mosquitoes, but first of all, I'm going to show you the orchids that I got for my birthday. So, thank you, Brandon Sherman, my lovely partner, future husband. He did actually get me quite a few orchids for my birthday. And we'll go ahead and start off with the Cattleya. Now, I have not actually owned a Cattleya myself. I've never gone out and purchased one. I think I may have purchased a bag baby of one to mount up for one of my friends. But other than that, I never really had one. Now, I had just recently, actually 2 days before the Fairchild event, someone actually ended up calling me. They were the children of a former Orchid Society president who passed away 2 years ago, and they ended up getting all of her orchids and had no idea how to take care of them, and they felt really bad. So I told them, you know, I do demonstrations all the time. I hold classes on how to take care of, you know, the orchids that I'm familiar with, and I show mounting classes and everything. I'll show y'all a few of my mounted orchids. And I said, you know, these would be good for some of my classes for the people that can't really afford orchids. At least, you know, if they show up to my class, I can maybe give them a free orchid and show them how to take care of it. Now, I have been learning a lot about them. The only thing is that all the orchids that I got from them were NOIDs, or noids. So I don't actually know what they are, except for one, which you actually, if you look at one of my other videos, it shows you how many different ones I got. I got about 40 or 50 of them. They just donated them to me. I gave them $25 for their time. I said, thank you very much. I was going there expecting to purchase something, but they were extremely nice. So I was very happy with that. So the only one that I do have is a Brassavola digbyana, which is also technically, it's almost a form of a Cattleya, yet it's not a Cattleya. So anyway, learning more about that. But this is the first time I've ever actually purchased a Cattleya orchid, and I actually didn't purchase it. It was given to me by my partner. He purchased it and he surprised me with it because I had been looking at it and we loved the smell of them. Now this one had not opened yet and I was very excited. And this is the tag, a BLC, Tashiri Okai BLC Onsenensi. I'm not very good at pronouncing these, so I try. But it had not bloomed yet, and so I tried to look it up, and I saw so many different flowers, could not figure out exactly what it was going to look like, so it was kind of cool that it was a little bit of a surprise. So I remember it came out of the sheath, and then it created the flower, and then little by little it opened up, and I smelt it every day, knowing that they do not smell until they're fully open, but it doesn't hurt. But here she is in all of her glory. Now, as you can see, she is rather large. Now, not only is the flower large, but the plant is very large and falling out of its pot. So I will wait until she is done blooming, and I don't have any sheaths coming up right now, so I think it should be an okay time once she's done blooming, even though she'll probably bloom for a couple of months. I'll probably repot her after that into a bigger pot, probably going to go into one of my clay pots that she can actually grow around and get her roots attached to. I love it when they do that. But that is the first orchid that I got. She is amazing. I have not named her yet. I want to start naming my orchids. I just decided that right now. But anyway, she is beautiful. I've already poked and prodded. I learned from Maria Young that you always want to poke and prod, just don't damage, and look for all the little bitty nubbins. And I've actually found 2 new growths coming from her. Very small right now, but by the time she's done blooming, they should be a little bit bigger. Now, so that is the first one that I got. And then I went into one of the booths owned by Moats Orchids. Now, if you've heard of Moats Orchids, Moats is actually infamous. He's very famous in the Orchid Society. There's one Vanda that I cannot wait to get my hands on. It's beautiful Moats Vanda orchid that is black. It has a purple, I don't know, everything is just beautiful about it. I'll post some pictures later on about that. But one thing that I had always wanted, and no one actually had them at Fairchild except for Moats. Actually, I take that back. There was one, but they wanted like $250 for that, and I could not convince my partner to spend $250 on an orchid for me. But Moats did have this, and I would like to present my very first Neophonetia falcata. So, bye Felicia. But anyway, this is my first Neophonetia falcata. Now, this is the actual regular Neophonetia falcata that has the white flowers that smell amazing. I did recently just get, well, I'll get to that later, but I got another Neophonetia. It is not a falcata. It is called a Blue Moon that is in bloom right now. This one is not, but it will, you know, it's doing very good. The roots look good. I'm probably going to remount this one in the traditional Kokidoma style. For those of you who don't know, Neophonetias have many different varieties, and they were actually known as the samurai orchid. Now, the reason they're called the samurai orchid is because back in the day in Japan, or maybe it's China, I don't know, wherever samurais were, you actually had to be a samurai to own this orchid, and they would pot them in elaborate hand-painted pots, which online cost over $250 right now, and they would do them in the kokidoma style. Now, a kokidoma is, I've actually got a few that I've done myself, but it is a form of mounting that makes a little bit of a ball. Now it's done, I do mine a little bit differently. I do not have the kokidoma clay, but I work with what I have. But it's done with sphagnum moss, and so I'll probably, you know what? When I do it, I'll make a video about it. But that is my first Neophonetia falcata. So I got the Neophonetia falcata, and I got this gorgeous Cattleya from Fairchild. Now, that was the first event. Now, this was weeks before my birthday, but I still called it my birthday. But this past Sunday, just days before my birthday, we went to Flamingo Gardens. Now, Flamingo Gardens is also really cool. If you have not been there, I do recommend to go. They've got some of the largest trees in Florida. I love everything to do agricultural. And another cool thing is that they rescue hurt animals and rehabilitate them and release them back into the wild when possible. But the ones that cannot be released, they give them a gorgeous area to live in. Now, when walking through, you will see orchids on over here and orchids over there. So it's always been cool to go. I've always loved going. And lo and behold, I get a notification that they're having an orchid and vermilion show. So, of course, I make my partner go with me. Now, we went with my partner and his parents, well, his mom and his stepdad, Karen and Todd. And I always love going places with them because everything is just so intriguing to them. And they always buy an orchid for themselves as well. So I think I have another orchid addict to work with. But first thing that we did is while they all went to the bathroom, I actually decided that I wanted to go into the judging area because I like to look at, you know, what orchids are supposed to look like. And of course, they always have the raffle. Now, I always try to do the raffle. I don't expect to win. I just like supporting the orchid societies here in South Florida, orchid societies all over the world, because, you know, there's a plethora of knowledge there. And so the more that people can actually learn about the orchids, the less orchids will actually die, because it's always sad when one of them dies. But I love supporting my orchid societies because they do a lot for our community as well. So I did the raffle. I paid $10 for 3 of the tickets, wrote my name on them. And I didn't expect to win anything, but right as we were leaving, of course, I get a call on my phone saying that you have won the raffle. So, I'll show you exactly what I won. Ooh, I need to treat this. Anyway, it is not in the best condition, but this was the second day and right before they closed, winning. So there were only 2 orchids I could choose from. There was an Oncidium and there was another Cattleya, which, as I just told you, I just recently bought a Cattleya. Or Brandon bought me a Cattleya. So I did not get the Cattleya, I got the Oncidium, and it looked beautiful, but then I took more of a glance after the excitement and the adrenaline went down, and I noticed that they are all misformed, and it's actually 2 different plants in one. So this is my Oncidium. There is no name tag, which is very weird for a raffle. But as you can tell, there's 2 pseudobulbs in there and a new growth. So it was the new growth that sold me. I was like, okay, I'll get it. But as you can tell, the flowers, can you see, are misshapen. That one's upside down, and it's actually 2 different types of Oncidium orchids. So it's kind of cool that I got 2 in one. The other one does not have a new growth yet, but one of them does. So I think it's going to do very well. As soon as it's done blooming, I'm about to treat it with hydrogen peroxide. And one of Maria Young's tricks is the yellow Listerine, the original Listerine golden, I guess you'd say, to make sure that there are no little critters in there. But I'm going to let it sit until it's done blooming, let the pseudobulb get to a nice plump size, and then I'm going to repot it. I might repot it while it's still, the pseudobulb's still going, because even if it doesn't grow very big, the next one should grow bigger. So I got that one, and I won. So I call that one my my birthday orchid, even though I got a bunch of birthday orchids. But now let's get to the ones that I actually got to pick out for my birthday. So, first off, we will start with one that I have wanted for a very, very long time. As you know, I do like the Sherry Baby, so what is better than an Oncidium Twinkle? Now, I had the opportunity to get an Oncidium Twinkle over and over again, but this was back when I was only allowed to purchase one orchid. It wasn't my birthday or anything special, so I was only allowed to get one. So it was, oh gosh, it smells so good. So it was either get this one or, you know, pick out one that I really, really, really wanted that was more expensive. So I got the Oncidium Twinkle. It is potted very, very nicely. The ladies that own this shop, I will post their information down below. But they were so nice to me. I actually saw them at Fairchild before Flamingo Gardens. And when I walked in, they said, hello. You know, they actually said, you're the Orchid Prince. And I said, yes. Thank you very much, my adoring fans. And they said, isn't it your birthday coming up? And I was like, how did you know that? She's like, remember, you told me last week. I was like, oh yeah, I did, didn't I? But she said, here, you know, since your birthday's in 2 days, go ahead and pick something out. I'll give you a really good deal on it. So I ended up getting Oncidium Twinkle. I got another one that I really wanted. I love Maxillaria tenifolias because the pseudobulbs just look so cute in the way that they grow and plus the way that they smell. So when I saw this one, now she always has something good going on. They have so many different varieties and most of them are blooming size, but they're small and they'll do 3 for $25. Now 3 plants for $25. Blooming size, that is next to nothing in the Orchid Society. So I ended up getting a small Maxillaria. Now this is the Maxillaria varibaeus? I don't know. Can you see that? Let's see. You can't see, can you? Okay. There you go. Maxillaria varibaeus. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it correctly, but as you can tell, it is almost like a miniature because the Maxillaria tenifolia, the flowers will be a lot bigger, and these do not smell like coconuts. They actually, to me, my dad owns a construction company. It used to be called Mega Builders. He's recently retired, but it reminds me of the sawdust of cedar when you fresh cut it. It has a hint of coconut. It's a little sweet, but it reminds me of sawdust. I never expected orchid to actually smell like this. So that was exciting. And then I did not get that one yet. I got a Masdevallia Angel Tears. Now, this one, the flower is really cool. It's red. It kind of looks like a triangle. To me, it kind of looked like the monkey orchids that everybody shows on all over the internet, where on eBay they try to sell the 100 seeds, which is nothing, by the way. Do not buy seeds off the internet on eBay unless you know how to take care of them, which most people don't. But they're cheap. A lot of people try to buy them, but don't get them. Anyway, I got this one. This is the first one that I've ever had, so it's potted very well. They say that they can actually exist in cubicles, so I think it's going to do very well here. And then after I picked out those 3, not only did she give me a $5 discount, but she reached over and she plucked another little orchid out that I had never seen before. And this is, here, I'll just let you read it. There you go. Now, this one's really cool. It's a very fast grower. The flower that it makes a long spray of little bitty white flowers, and it is very fragrant. So I've been told. She did not have a demo or a sample there, but when she says it's a fast grower, it's a fast grower. This one already has 5 new growths coming out of the bottom. So I'm very excited about this one. I've never had one like it. So excited, excited, excited. Now, as we were leaving, we went by a little bitty booth. I did not get the name of them, but they had this basket of $4 Dendrobium nobilis. Now, They're in little bitty plastic packages. I actually put a bunch of them together. I know that the flowers look bad, but the flowers are actually blooming out of keikis on the same flower, or on the same plant. So I'm very excited about this one. This is one of my rehabs part in it. It is being remediated. Don't worry, it is cleaned. I have sanitized everything, so it's not going to infect anything. It just needs some time out of the sun. But as you can tell, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 keikis growing out of that. And then I also got this one, which she just handed to me, no name. Looks really cool, fast grower. Can't wait for it to bloom as well. Now, I think I've gone through everything that I've gotten except one. After we got back, I have it soaking right now, so pardon the mess. As you know, I love Neophoenicias, so this is one that I actually ended up getting from a friend of mine, and the pot is kind of weird, but I kind of like it too, but it's also in bloom. So if you look, this is my other Neophoenicia. It only has 2 growths in it, but it's a Neophoenicia Lusneri. So I can't wait for that one to start growing even more and more and more. I've got my Vandas soaking right now. Here in Florida, we are having tsunami season, it seems like. It's just rain and rain and rain. But I believe I have gone through everything that I've gotten. So guys, thank you very much for watching my videos. Make sure to click like if you enjoyed it. Leave your comments below if you have any questions. I will be posting more and more videos. I'm going to try to do it daily, but I will make sure to do it weekly. So thank you, coming from the Orchid Prince. Bye-bye.